Hello everyone, I am Raj Kumar, lecturer in zoology from TTWRDC, MEN, Nagar Karnool, now at Jadcherla. So today I am going to give a lecture on topic is circulatory system of amphibians. The circulatory system of the amphibians. Before entering the topic, I will give some brief introduction about the amphibians. What is the meaning of amphibians? The amphibians. Amphi means both. Bians means life. These amphibians are first terrestrial organ in vertebrates. They are first forming vertebrates on the earth. So these amphibians are lives in the terrestrial region and also in the water region. So amphibians are first terrestrial vertebrates. So today we are discuss about the topic is circulatory system of amphibians, particularly the Rana tigrina, the scientific name of the amphibia frog. The frog name is Rana tigrina. It is also known as Indian bull frog. Look at here, the systematic position of the frog. Like the scientific name of the frog is Rana tigrina. So kingdom is Animalia, phylum is Chordate, subphylum is Vertebrata. Group Gnathostomata. Class Amphibia. Order Anura. Genus Rana. Species Tigrina. Its common name is frog. It is also known as Indian bull frog. Indian bull frog. So the mean of the circulatory system. What is the circulatory system? The circulatory system is a transport system in the animals. The circulatory system is a transport system in the animals. What is the function of circulatory system? It is transport. What is it? It is transport. It is transport the nitrogenous wastage and transport the gases like carbon dioxide and oxygen. Then circulatory system, nitrogenous wastage like ammonia, urea, uric acids. These are the main function of the circulatory system. The circulatory system is contained, first see, look at it. Circulatory system, it is a transport system of the animals. The main function of the main function is transport of digested food also. Digested food means, for example, carbohydrate, end product of the digestive systems. Like we have to take the polysaccharides like carbohydrates, proteins, lipids. They are entered into the small intestine, they can digest it. And they can absorption through villi. And they are entered into the blood. Blood is transport the digested end products like amino acid, glucose, glycerol. These are the end product of the small intestine. They are transported through the blood. They transported through the blood. The circulatory system is the main key role, play the key role in this process. So it is also involved in the removal of the nitrogenous waste products. Nitrogenous waste products. What are the nitrogenous waste products? They are urea, uric acid, ammonia, like that. They are transport to the excretory organs. Blood is transport the nitrogenous waste to excretory organs. like kidneys, skin, lungs. They are all excretory organs. The circulatory system also maintain the homeostasis, maintain the constant internal environment of the body, and it is also protect the body from the foreign particles. If the foreign particles are enter into the body, they having some WBCs, they are attack the foreign particles and remove from the body and kill the bacteria, viruses. It is protect from the foreign particles. So circulatory system is divided into circulatory system is contains blood vascular system and lymphatic system. Look at it. The circulatory system contains blood vascular system and lymphatic system. The blood vascular system of the frog closed type. Closed type. What is the meaning of closed type? The closed type circulatory system. The involvement of the blood vessels, veins and arterioles, capillaries, they all are involved into the transport of the blood. It is a closed circulatory blood circuit. It includes closed blood vascular system includes blood, heart, arterial system and venous system. So next, lymphatic system. What is the meaning of lymphatic system? Lymphatic system, it is a it's contain lymph vessels, lymph space and spleen. The lymphatic system is contain lymph. The blood vascular system is contain blood. So lymphatic system contain lymph. The lymph is colorless fluid. Lymph is a colorless fluid. Why? Because why it is a colorless? It does not have hemoglobin, RBCs. Due to absent of RBCs in the lymph. So it is appear in colorless. So it is a present between the blood vascular system and present between the blood vascular system and tissue level. Between the which blood vascular system, it is present in blood vessels and tissues. It is transported. It contains WBCs. What is the function of WBCs? WBCs are protect the body from foreign particles like viruses, bacteria, protozoans. So this is the brief introduction about the circulatory system. The circulatory system. So we can start the blood first. The blood vascular system contains blood. The blood having 55% of plasma and 45% of the blood corpuscles. So look at here. It is a liquid with a slightly higher density than the water. The blood is higher density than the water. It is alkaline in nature. Why it is the blood is appear in red in color due to the presence of hemoglobin in the RBCs. The blood is red in color. Why it is appear in red in color? It's having hemoglobin in the presence of RBCs. So it is appear in red in color. So blood contains 55% of plasma and 45% of blood corpuscles. The blood corpuscles are again divided into three main types. They are erythrocytes, leukocytes, and thrombocytes. The erythrocytes, it is known as also red blood corpuscles. And leukocytes, these are called white blood corpuscles. The RBCs, they are carry the oxygen. They are involved into the protection of the body. The thrombocytes are nothing but platelets. They are involved into the blood clotting. So blood has many important functions. Blood has many important functions. They are first function, the blood vascular system. It is blood. It is distribution of the digested food. The blood is distributed the digested food, like the digested food are digested in the small intestine regions. They are like amino acids, glycerol, fatty acids, nucleotides. They are they are digested food transported through blood to the cells and tissues region. The digested food are absorption through microvilli. The microvilli are transport the digested food in blood. Blood are transport the digested food like ammonia, fatty acids, glycerols. These all are end product of the small intestine. They are absorbed through microvilli and transported through blood. This is the first function of the blood. Next, it is also supply the oxygen to the tissues. The oxygen is environmental through enter into the lungs through alveoli through it is bind with the RBCs and hemoglobin. RBCs and hemoglobin bind with the oxygen and it is carried through the heart. Heart is circulate the they are enter into the hemoglobin and bind with the hemoglobin and RBC. They are transported into the lungs to heart. Heart is circulate the oxygen to overall body. They having tissues and cells. Then removal of the carbon dioxide from the tissue regions. At the tissue and cell region, they utilize the oxygen and they excrete the carbon dioxide from tissues and cell region. Partial pressure of the carbon dioxide is high, so it is the carbon dioxide is at the tissue level. The carbon dioxide bind with the hemoglobin and in the form of bicarbonates, and it transported the lungs. And then exhale the lungs region throughout. And next function, removal of the metabolic byproducts to the excretory organs. Removal of the metabolic byproducts. They are nitric ammonia, urea, uric acid, citric acid. Sorry, these all are nitrogenous waste products. The blood is transport the nitrogenous waste product at the target excretory organs. The organs are involved in the removal of the nitrogenous. They are metabolic byproducts. Excreted through excretory organs. And it is also involved into the distribution of hormones to the target organs. The distribution of the hormones to the target organ. Means the endocrine glands. Endocrine glands. What is the function of endocrine gland? They can release the hormone. The endocrine glands are ductless glands. They release the hormone through blood to the target organs like thyroid gland, parathyroid gland, adrenal gland, and gonads. These all are organs. So releasing of hormones through blood to target organ. This is the one of the point. Next, protection of the body. Protection of the body against of the foreign germs. Means germs. The means the foreign particles or foreign pathogens. The pathogens are enter into the body. Then WBCs like monocytes, lymphocytes. These are WBCs are attacked to the foreign particles and kill the foreign particles. They are present in blood. The WBCs are present in the blood. So this is the another function of the blood. Okay. Next slide. So let us start the structure of heart. The heart of the amphibian is myogenic heart. Heart of the amphibian is myogenic heart. Heart of the amphibian is myogenic heart. Myogenic heart. The myogenic heart. Myogenic means the action potential generated through muscles. The heartbeat generated the muscles. Means heart muscles. The heartbeat generated through heart muscles. It is known as myogenic heart. Means the sinoatrial node present at the upper side of the right auricle. It is generate the action potential. It is generate the action potential. Heart muscles can generate the action potential their own without involvement of other organs. So it is known as myogenic heart. Heart is a central pumping organ of the blood vascular system. It is collect the deoxygenated blood and it is also collect the oxygenated blood. It is transport the deoxygenated blood to the lungs and it is transport the oxygenated blood to the overall body parts. So it is known as central pumping organ of the blood vascular system. What is the shape? It is externally. It is appear in triangular shape. Triangular structure. It is look like a triangular structure. Which one is heart of the heart of the amphibians? It is look like a triangular shape externally. Then it is hollow conical shape and present between the two lungs. It is present between the two lungs. It is a muscular organ. Heart is a muscular organ made of the special muscle fibers. The muscle fibers are known as cardiac muscle. Heart is a central pumping organ. It is a central pumping organ of the blood vascular system. It is hollow in conical and present between the two lungs. It is externally appear look like a triangular structure. It is a muscular organ made up of special muscle fibers are called cardiac muscles. The heart is enclosed by two membranes. Look at here. Heart is made of two membranes. Inner is epicardium, outer layer is pericardium. Inner layer is epicardium and outer layer is pericardium. Between the epicardium and pericardium, between the two layers having pericardial space. Between the pericardium and epicardium, between having space. The space is known as pericardial space. The space filled with the pericardial fluid. The pericardial fluid, it is protect the heart from mechanical injuries and allow the free movement of the heart, free movement during the beating. What is this? It is fluid. The fluid function. It is protect the heart from the mechanical injury, and it allow the free movement of the heart during the heartbeat time. This is the external structure of the heart. So next we have look at the external structure of the heart. Going to next slide. This is the heart. External. What we have to see in externally the amphibian heart having three-chambered heart. Amphibian heart is three-chambered heart. Two auricles, left auricle, right auricle, and one ventricle. Besides the sinus venuses, and another one is truncus arteriosus. The external structure of the heart contains two auricles, one ventricle, besides the one sinus venuses, and another one is truncus arteriosus. The sinus venuses are present on the dorsal side. The truncus arteriosus are present on the ventral side. Externally, the right auricle, the auricles are separated from the ventricle. Externally, the auricles are separated from the ventricles through coronary sulcus. Once again, I will repeat. Right auricle and left, the auricles are separated from the ventricles by a groove. Externally, by a groove. It is known as coronary sulcus. And left auricle, right auricle is larger than two left auricles. The left auricle separated from the right auricle through interauricular septum. So look at the next slide. So here, external structure of the heart. The heart of the frog divided into three chambers. I was already told the external structure of the heart having the frog heart is three-chambered heart. There are two auricles and one ventricle. Beside the sinus venuses and truncus arterius. They associated with the sinus venosus and truncus arteriosus. The auricles and ventricles. The ventricles are subauricles and ventricles separated through externally by a groove. Groove is known as coronary sulcus. Coronary sulcus. The right auricle is larger than to left auricle. I was already told about the auricles. Show the structure also, diagram also. So the right auricle larger than to left auricle. The left auricle separated from the right auricle through interauricular septum. The ventricle is single. It is a single chamber and it is conical in shape with thick muscular wall. The auricles are thin muscular wall. The ventricles are thick muscular wall. This is the difference. The auricles are made with the thin muscular wall. Ventricles is made with the thick muscular wall. The sinus venusus present on the dorsal side. Here, the sinus venusus. The sinus venusus are present on the dorsal side. Here, sinus venusus. They are present on the dorsal side of the heart. They are forming of the two precaval veins and one postcaval veins. Superior vena cava and inferior vena cava. The precaval veins are called superior vena cava and postcaval vein also known as inferior vena cava. They are fissured to form wide chamber. It is called sinus venusus. Here, look at the diagram. The sinus venusus. Sinus venusus. How to form the sinus venusus? The superior vena cava are precaval veins. This one is left vena cava. This one is right vena cava, and this one is inferior vena cava or postcaval vein. These three are enters into the and they can form the large superior vena cava and inferior vena cava. They fissured together and they can form the large wide chamber. It is known as sinus venusus. The sinus venusus, it is opens into the right auricle. The sinus venusus are opens into the right auricle through sinoauricular septum. Sinoauricular septum. The sinoauricular septum, it is guarded by sinoauricular walls. This is the external structure. Next, separated from the auricular septum, left auricle separated from the right auricle by an interauricular septum. On the dorsal side, dorsal of the heart, two precaval vein, one postcaval vein. We should form the wide chamber called sinus venusus. It opens into the right auricle. Yeah, right. On the ventral side of the heart is tubular structure. Sinus venusus are present in the dorsal side, and when truncus artery is present on the ventral side. What is the function of sinus venusus? It can collect the deoxygenated blood from the various from the body parts, and it opens into the right auricle. What is the function of truncus arteriosus? It is transport the oxygenated blood as well as deoxygenated blood. So this is the external structure of the heart. Next, internal structure of the a heart. Internally, heart having 3 chamber. I was already told about that. The internal structures. The internally heart is a 3 chamber. You know that 2 auricles and 1 ventricle with associated with the sinus venosus and truncus arteriosus. Sinus venosus and truncus arteriosus. First, the auricles. They are thin-walled chamber. The thin-walled chambers are called auricles. The right auricle larger than to left auricle. Okay, look at here. This is the internal structure of the heart. Internal structure of the heart. Heart having 2 auricles, 1 ventricle, and sinus venosus and truncus arteriosus. Right auricle is larger than to left auricle. These are thin-walled chambers. Both the right auricle and left auricles are thin-walled chambers. The right auricles are larger than to left auricles. The right auricles are separated from the left auricle through interauricular septum. Interauricular septum. The right auricles are separated from the left auricle through interauricular septum. This is the auricles. Interauricular septum. This right auricular connected to sinus venosus. I already told the right auricle connected to the sinus venosus to sino-auricular apertures. They are guarded by the sino-auricular valves. What is the function of valves? Sino-auricular valves. The sino-auricular valves are prevent the backward flow of the blood. What is the function of sino-auricular valve? The valves are prevent the backward flow. If the blood is entering into the right auricle, it cannot be flow the backward. They can prevent the auricular valves are prevent the blood backward flow of the blood. This is the function of the sino-auricular valves. It receives the deoxygenated blood. Yeah, right auricular, the sinus venuses are opens into the right auricle. It is collect the deoxygenated blood. So deoxygenated blood is enter into the right auricle. The right auricle receives the deoxygenated blood from sinus venuses. The left auricle. What is the function of left auricle? Left auricle is receive the oxygenated blood from lungs through pulmonary veins. In the left auricle close to the septum, there is a small opening of pulmonary vein. There is a small opening of the pulmonary vein, which has no valves. Look at here. Once again, I will repeat. Already told the right auricles are right auricles. The left auricles are, what is the function of left auricles? Left auricles are collect the oxygenated blood from lungs through pulmonary veins. Pulmonary veins are opens into the left auricles, and it is collect the oxygenated blood. It does not contain any valves. The pulmonary veins having no valves. The heartbeat is prevent the backward flow of the blood. If the blood, oxygenated blood enter into the heart, the heartbeat is generated, and it is cannot be backward flow. The blood is cannot backward flow. The heartbeat is prevent the backward flow of the blood. This is the function. Internal auricle. The left auricle close to the septum. There is a small opening pulmonary vein which has no valve. Next, ventricles. Auricles are present in the anterior side of the heart. Ventricles are present. Ventricle is present on the posterior side of the heart. Posterior part of it is a ventricle is a posterior part of the heart. Posterior part of the heart. So it is collect the oxygenated blood and as well as deoxygenated blood. So the heart of the amphibians is called incomplete double circulation. The circulation heart, the amphibian's heart is known, circulation is known as incomplete double circulation. The ventricles form the posterior part of the heart, the auricles and ventricles. The both auricles are opens into the ventricles through auriculoventricular septums. Sorry, auricles are separated from the ventricle. Here, the auricles, left auricle and right auricles are separated from the ventricle through auriculoventricular septum. Auriculoventricular septum. Auriculoventricular septum. The both auricles, it's a common opening. They are it's having common opening. They are common opening. Auriculoventricular valves or auriculoventricular septums. The auriculoventricular valves are prevent the backward flow of the blood. Right auricle enters into the ventricle and also left auricle also enters into the ventricle through auriculoventricular septum. It is guarded by auriculoventricular valves. It is guarded by auriculoventricular valve. It is protect the backward flow of the blood. Then the blood is mixed blood present in the ventricle. This is the structure of ventricle. The ventricles having a small, the wall of the ventricles. Sorry, the wall of the ventricle, small, having small projections. They are called papillary muscles. The wall of the ventricles having small projection like muscles. They are called papillary muscles or columnae carneae. Columnae carneae. Here, look. The projection like the wall of the ventricles having projection like muscles. These are called papillary muscles or columnae carneae or trabeculae. Trabeculae. And the papillary muscles are columnae carneae or trabeculae. The two auricles opens into the single ventricle chamber through auriculoventricular apertures. The apertures is guarded by the two pairs of auriculoventricular valves. Yes, the apertures are guarded by auriculoventricular valves. The valve are attached to the ventricle. Which valve? The auriculoventricular valves. They are attached to the cardae tendineae, which the auriculoventricular, the right auricle and left auricles are opens into the ventricle. It is known as this. It is known as auriculoventricular septum. The auriculoventricular septum is guarded by auriculoventricular valve. The auriculoventricular valves are attached to the cardiac here. This is the cardiac which control the movement of the valves. What is the function of cardiac tendinae? It is control the movement of the valves. This is the structure of ventricle. Next, truncus arteriosus. Truncus arteriosus. It is arises from the right anterior side of the ventricle. The truncus arteriosus is arises from the right anterior side of the ventricle. The truncus arteriosus are present in the ventral side of the heart. Ventricles first. The ventricles are opens into the truncus arteriosus. Where is it? It is the truncus arteriosus. The right auricles are opens into the truncus arteriosus. The truncus arteriosus. It is opening between the these two guarded by three semilunar valves. The truncus arteriosus are divided into two parts. One is synangium and pinangium. This here. The pinangium and synangium. The truncus arteriosus ventricles are opens into the truncus arteriosus. Truncus arteriosus are divided into two chambers. The truncus arteriosus is having three semilunar valves. Three semilunar valves. It is again divided into two chambers. That one is pinangium and synangium. Pinangium and synangium. Yeah. Pinangium is also called proximal conus arteriosus and synangium is also known as distal bulbous arteriosus. The synangium, it is anteriorly divided into two chambers. Here, look at here. The synangium divided into two anterior chambers. These are the anterior chambers. They are called aortic trunks. The synangium are divided into two chambers like this one. These are two chambers. The chambers are known as aortic trunks. The aortic trunks are again divided into three valves. Three types. The aortic trunks are divided into three types. They are carotid arc, systemic arc, and pulmocutaneous arc. Pulmocutaneous arc. It is supply the blood to the lungs and skin. Systemic arc. Systemic arc also supply the blood of the esophageal regions, occipital regions, and subclavian. They form the subclavian arteries. Next, pulmocutaneous arch. Pulmocutaneous arch is supply the blood to lungs and cutaneous means skin. Next, systemic arc. Carotid arc. Carotid arc is a supply the lingual. It is from the lingual arteries. So this is the structure of the truncus arteriosus. So next, the pinangium also divided into two chambers. One is cavum pulmocutaneous and another one cavum aorticum. Cavum aortium and cavum pulmocutaneum. The pinangium also divided into two chambers. One is pulmocutaneum and cavum aorticum. Here, the corners are again divided into two chambers. What is the right chamber is called cavum arteriosum, and the left chamber is called cavum pulmocutaneum. This is the structure of truncus arteriosus. Next, sinus venosus. Sinus venosus. It is sinus venosus is from the precaval vein. Oh, sorry, here look. The superior vena cava, right superior vena cava, and left superior vena cava, and inferior vena cava. They can form the fissure together by form the a large wide chamber. The wide chamber is called sinus venosus. The sinus venuses. Sinus venuses are opens into the right auricle through sino-auricular septum. The sinus venuses are opens into the right auricle through sinus venosus. It is guarded by sino-auricular valves. The valves, what is the function of valves? They can prevent the backward flow of the blood. This is a brief introduction about the heart. So the heart, the circulatory system of the amphibians are incomplete double circulation. The mixed bloods are enter into the ventricles, and it is circulated through the only truncus arteriosus. Only one ventricle supply the oxygenated and deoxygenated blood. So it is known as incomplete double circulation. This is the circulatory system of the amphibians. Just structures. What are the parts are contained and internally and externally. This is the structure of heart. Thank you.